Today I have something really cool to show you, which I discovered last year at Superbooth. There's a brand new company made by industry veterans called PWM, and their first entry into the synth market is the Malevolent, which is a very aptly named semi-modular, fully analog synthesizer. I just finished work on a total of 5 remixes and 1 intro for the new Fear Factory remix album. And for quite a few sounds that I did for the remix album, that guy took the spotlight a few times. You can send MIDI from your DAW via MIDI inputs as well as USB inputs. Because this is a fully analog synthesizer, you cannot really control any of the parameters via MIDI. However, you can control pitch and modulation. This will also send MIDI when you hit the keys if you want it to, so it can also be used as a sort of small, quick-to-go controller. Really easy to see exactly what's going on here, to be fair, and that's something I really appreciate from PWM. You have everything separated in all these little blocks. Most of the outputs are on the top row and most of the inputs are on the lower row. All the inputs are marked by these 2 little arrows on the sides, and the default routing, in case we don't have any patch cables, is written right under it in green text. So in this case, mix out is going into low pass, LFO triangle is going in FM2 and FM2 here by default, same as here. You have pitch, velocity, and gate outputs, which you can route to any of the other inputs, as well as LFO triangle and square shapes. VCO1 outputs include saw, triangle, pulse, and out, same as VCO2. Here you have the inputs and the default routings, again in green text right under it. Coarse pitch, fine pitch. The shape mod indicates the amount of modulation that is affecting the shape knob, which is essentially pulse width modulation. Right here we have frequency modulation input 1 and input 2, so that will be different depending on which modulator is affecting it. So if we increase the value, we have more modulation amount. Oscillator levels should be pretty self-explanatory, and here these little 3 buttons indicate the shape of the oscillator. You can select each of these shapes as well as all of them together and they will light up. Right now I have both oscillators on the default setting and I tuned them accordingly. Envelope 1 and 2, pretty self-explanatory. Attack, decay, sustain, release, same as both. You can route these any way you want by taking the outputs from envelope 1 here and envelope 2 here into any of the inputs that can be modulated. Both oscillators are going out into the mixer by default, and you can also send an audio signal through this input right here. This is the aux in level, and this is the noise generator level. Mixer out is going by default into the low pass input. So if we want to change the type of filter, we would have to take one of these, and this is when the fun starts. The Malevolent comes with 5 different cables in different colors. So if we want the high pass filter, we take the mix out output, put it right here, and there you have it. Filter out default routing is going into the envelope inputs. And we also have 2 amplitude modulation inputs right here. This one's going all the way up because envelope 2 is affecting the amplitude modulation. And you can further affect it using this knob if you want to use the default routing, which is the triangle shape from the LFO. Master volume out should be pretty self-explanatory. And here's the main output, which you could also route into either back into the auxiliary in to create a feedback circuit or another set of modules. Down here we have an arpeggiator, vibrato function, octaves up and down, a keyboard with smaller keys, which in my opinion actually fits this much better, and you will see why in a bit. And this little joystick right here is both the pitch bend, if you push it left or right, and if you push it up, you have glide amount. If you pull it down, you activate the hold function. If you push the joystick down, then the hold function becomes momentary. If you push it again, it is latch by default. If you hit the vibrato button, then this will be vibrato amount and vibrato speed. If you hold the arpeggiator button and you change the position in the joystick, you will also change between the different arpeggiation modes. And if you keep pressing it and you hit the octave buttons, then it will add an octave to the arpeggiator. But I think that's enough talk for now. I think it's time we get to jamming. I'm just going to take this out right here so we hear it as it's supposed to be in a default setting. As I said, the default routing is the mixer out into the low pass. So to change that into a high pass filter, we do this.
If we pull it out back into the default routing, I'm gonna jam a little bit just to keep showing you what this guy can do and how it sounds and why it's becoming a centerpiece of my sound design recently. ARP mode up. ARP mode up and down. ARP mode up and down twice. ARP mode down. ARP mode random. ARP mode as played. Envelope 2 is affecting the amplitude modulation. Envelope 1 is affecting the filter, if I so wish. Now let's bring in oh yeah. And I don't even have the drive. Let's bring that in. It's pretty wild, so you have to be careful with it. Changing the filter mode again. Maybe we can get the LFO to do that for me. There you go. That should be fine. So there's one little problem you might run into, let's say, when you're trying to use a different LFO shape into several inputs. So as you can see, the default routing is LFO triangle going here, 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 and there. So how do we change the shape of the LFO in all of those inputs at the same time? Well, that's when you need one of these or one of these. They don't come with the synth, however, they are very cheap to get, and I can already modulate VCO 1 and 2 with the square shape just by splitting the output and routing it into these two. So that sounds like that. if we go back and disconnect this, it goes back to the default routing, which is the LFO triangle shape. Back to square shape. I think this could work as a really interesting alarm if we could affect that with a reverb, for example. So I'm going to do exactly that. And I'm going to use Black Hole by Eventide for this one. You'll see exactly why. That sounds so beautiful. Alright, that's enough of the weird ambient stuff. I'm sorry, I am crazy for this stuff. But I guess I could also show you how to make this guy sound a little bit more musical. I'm taking all the cables out to go back to a default pack. There you go, we have a lead. All right, I think I'm gonna start playing something that maybe makes a bit more sense from a performance sort of point of view. I wanna use the vibrato because I love it. We can go even lower to create a mean, nasty bass, because why not? That already sounds great. Alright, maybe we can get some really nasty FM action if we take this one right here. There you go. Now we have some nasty analog FM action going on. All right. Cool. All right, let me see if I can tune that. I'll try and create maybe some nasty FM lead out of it. Bear with me. That sounds so cool. Now we have a dissonant lead. Alright, I guess there's a reason why they call this the Malevolent. Dude, this is so freaking cool, and it's easy, it lets me have some fun, I don't have to think too much about it, I'm just doodling around until something like this comes up, and there you go. You can sample that, by the way. I'm not gonna use it, or maybe I will, I'm not sure. I don't really do techno, however, but who knows, maybe this will work for me as well, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I said it, so I'm going to own that. You can sample this, you can use it, and if you feel, you know, like making some tracks with it, with whatever sounds you could get out of this video, go ahead and do it. It's all good.
So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching once again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've been enjoying all the remixes that I've been working on for the last year. I hope you're excited about the next Zardonic album that is also coming very soon. And also for those who are enjoying this kind of content, there's going to be more of that coming in the future. I'm already in talks with a lot of really awesome companies that have indulged me in this passion I have for audio engineering and music production. So I hope you can join me for the next video as well. See you guys very soon.